Trevenant going to try its luck here against the Unfezant, and Shadow Ball not doing anything. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, and if you're a returning subscriber like Jeff Matt, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are finally taking a look at the long-awaited arrival of Unfezant in the Ultra League Premier Classic. Unfezant is a normal flying type Pokemon with a very high attack stat, but it is relatively glassy, so even against a fighting type, it does encounter some issues. Because it is so weak to Walrein in the lead, I will be pairing it with Double Fighter in the back in the form of Sirfetch'd and Heracross, both of which have some play against Swampert, and of course one of the biggest threats to this team is going to be any Charm user. Unfezant unfortunately is a bit too glassy to deal with the Charm users, and the backline is going to get destroyed by them, so this is a risky team to use. Obviously the rating is very poor on PvPoke, but that's been the norm for this season, so nothing new right here. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider leaving a like on the video. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment down below, and without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. So jumping into these battles right here, we are leading Unfezant with a Double Fighter strat in the back. Obviously not a great team, a lot of weaknesses right there on the screen. That is a whole lot of blue. First matchup, we are leading Unfezant here into a Charizard, which is definitely a problem for this team because it does very well against our backline. So we're forced to stay in here with Unfezant, which isn't a particularly great matchup. However, we do call the Dragon Claw bait right here, which is nice, and the opponent swaps out into Swampert. Now, very importantly, we do preserve that energy on the Unfezant before swapping out into the Sirfetch'd. We are running Leaf Blade here, which basically one-shots the Swampert. Since the opponent did shield already once, we can take a Hydro Cannon, but we will need to shield the second move coming through here and look to get off one more Leaf Blade to knock out this Swampert. That's going to give the Charizard a little bit of farm, which isn't ideal, but again, remember, we do have a move stored on the Unfezant for when the Charizard comes back in, and hopefully they are not at a move yet. And a lot of times, people don't expect this thing to hit hard, right? So Sky Attack coming through, bang, there it is, Charizard underestimating the attack stat of Unfezant, and it's a Jolteon in the back. We're going to shield up the move right here. Jolteon is a little bit scary because it is spammy with the Volt Switch moveset, but we should be able to outpace here to a second Rock Blast, which should be able to win us this game. So off to a 1-0 start here. You may have noticed that I was running close combat on the Sirfetch'd there in the first battle. I did switch that over to Brave Bird for the remainder of this video, and I found that it caught a lot of opponents off guard. So jumping into the second battle, we are leading Unfezant into a Swampert. Again, this is a challenging lead. The Mud Shots, of course, are not doing anything to Unfezant. However, the Hydro Cannons deal a lot of damage, and they come at a very rapid pace. So the opponent is going to shield up the Sky Attack right here, throw the Hydro Cannon. I'll let the first one go through, and then I'll probably try looking to swap out into the Sirfetch'd, see what the opponent wants to do. I'm going to shield here because they have a lot of energy, and it actually happens to be the Earthquake, so that's a big shield. Talonflame comes in, and this is why I like having Brave Bird. Sometimes they don't expect it. Bang, there it is, Talonflame getting absolutely smoked by the bird. Trevenant in the back. Wanted to build up to the Brave Bird once again, but decided to throw this Leaf Blade in case they went for Seed Bomb right there. They did not, but thankfully we did get a shield, so a little bit of chip damage right here with the second Leaf Blade. Of course, giving up Night Slash means this matchup is a little bit worse if we cannot reach the Brave Bird. Unfezant comes in. This is what you love to see. Unfezant on Trevenant, Swampert coming in, and at this point it's so low that we are able to take this game. Going to let this move go through. I need to basically farm this down, commit the shield if I need to, and have the Megahorn ready for the Trevenant. Close out this game right here in style. So Trevenant comes back in. We are able to get off this Megahorn right here. Bang, there it is, Trevenant getting taken out. A lot of bangs to start this video. So far so good with this team. Let's see if we could keep the momentum going here in match number 3. Going to be leading Unfezant this time into Gallade. Now if you are going to see Gallade with this team, This is where you want to see it, of course. It's going to destroy the backline. Unfezant has a favorable matchup. The opponent swaps out into the Swampert. We're going to come in with the Sirfetch'd right here. We can tank one Hydro Cannon, and we'll go for the Leaf Blade, which will one-shot the Swampert. Not really expecting a shield here because they could come in and farm us down with the Gallade, but it looks like the opponent is playing for switch. So we'll shield up once, throw the next Leaf Blade, and if they do decide to shield us, I'm actually going to allow them to take us out and then come back in with the Heracross, look to farm down completely, and if we are able to reach a Megahorn, even if the Gallade comes back in, we should be able to take care of it with the Megahorn from Heracross. So looking to completely farm down here. The opponent is going to reach a Hydro Cannon. I'm going to allow this to go through right here. Deals a lot of damage, but we do commit to the full farm down. Unfortunately for us, it is a CMP tie, and I wasn't entirely sure if we would survive a Leaf Blade, so I do end up shielding that up. This will guarantee that we take out the Gallade right here, and now it really comes down to what is left in the back for the opponent, and it happens to be a Venusaur. So here comes the Unfezant, going to throw this Sky Attack, and you know Venusaur is not going to appreciate this. In fact, Venusaur did not appreciate this to the point that it force closed the app. Unfezant out here making the opponents feel really unpleasant. We take that game, hopping into the next battle. So 3-0 thus far with the Unfezant double fighter team, and we see an Escavalier lead. This looks like it's a pretty good matchup for Unfezant, but it's actually not that great and kind of depends on what the moveset is as well. So we're going to throw the Sky Attack here. Unfezant deals a lot of damage as we've seen so far, and that is a very heavy Sky Attack. Was not expecting the simultaneous swap, but like we said in the intro, pretty much any charm user is a GG for this team. It is not a good team by any means, and clearly right here you could see we are catching the absolute work from this Grand Bull. I need them to no shield this Sky Attack, but the reality is they're probably going to shield. Yes, they do. Now, I wish I had something in the back that could just run over this Grand Bull, but Sirfetch'd is not that Pokemon. We end up losing CMP tie as well. Very unfortunate, and getting our final shield pretty much the nail in the coffin because that Escavalier has a move ready, so there is nothing we can do right here. I don't want the smoke back out of the match. 3-1. Like I said, any charmer is going to cause a lot of issues for this team. That's pretty much what you get when you run a somewhat meme team like this one. But right here, this is the absolute dream. Unfezant into Trevenant. That is the wall situation. Empoleon comes in. We're going to throw the Leaf Blade right here. Let's see if the opponent shields up. They let it go through, so I will have to burn a shield right here. We do lose in the 0 shields against Empoleon. Commit to the farm down, and now the Trevenant will come back in. Now I'm going to go for the Brave Bird here. Because we also have access to Night Slash, it's pretty much a guarantee they do shield this. And now the opponent will just commit to a complete farm down. Unfezant comes back in, doesn't have to fear anything from the Trevenant, and now the opponent actually swaps out into Machamp. So Sky Attack going to force the final shield, and we're going to swap out into the Heracross right here. Now Heracross is basically operating as a sponge because although Unfezant is a flying type, it's also part normal and it's very glassy. So I'd rather absorb this damage on the Heracross, and I'm actually going to allow the Heracross to go down right here because I don't want to give that Trevenant any free farm. Unfezant will come back in, finish off the Machamp. The opponent understands that Trevenant cannot do anything right here, and we're going to take that game. A 4-1 set with Unfezant and the double fighters. Is it a fluke? We'll have to test it out with a second set of battles right now. So after a 4-1 performance in the first set, can we outdo that in set number 2 with the perfect 5-0? Let's find out right now. We are leading Unfezant this time into a BHM. Oh my goodness, this is extremely spicy, and of course a confusion user cannot be aligned with our back line, so we need to stay in here with the Unfezant. Going to throw this Sky Attack right here. The opponent decides to shield that up. That is bad news for us. We of course need to match shields right here and get off this second Sky Attack, presuming they stay in this matchup. Rock Slide, they swap out into Empoleon. this is good news for us. We're going to come in with the Sirfetch'd. Unfortunately, we are going to have to shield up a move right here. So the Empoleon ends up shielding as well. That is perfect. Now we get this matchup into a shields down scenario, which could end up being the win con against that Behem. So we are able to farm down completely. They come in with a Snorlax instead. So going to throw the Leaf Blade right here. This isn't ideal, and I think we're in a pretty tricky spot right here because we could get swept by that Behem. So going for the Brave Bird here. Do they expect it? Bang! There it is, taking out the Snorlax. We have the Sky Attack ready to go. Thankfully, shields are down, and this is going to take out the Behem. Able to win that game without needing to show the Heracross in the back. Looked like it was going to be a tough matchup. Ended up being a relatively straightforward win after pulling off a couple of maneuvers. And speaking of straightforward, here is the best possible lead you could see. Trevenant, the opponent, swaps out into the Walrein. Here comes Sirfetch'd, going to tank this first Icicle Spear. It is a shadow, so it is going to hurt a lot more. And we're going to throw the Leaf Blade right here. Let's see if they want to shield this up. They do, so I'm going to use one shield here. Try and commit to the complete farm down with counter if we can. If I feel we cannot, I will throw the Leaf Blade. And we are able to farm down. Got very tight, but this also means minimal farm for the opponent. So best case scenario right here. Having Night Slash here would be a little useful. However, again, we do have Unfezant in the back, so we don't need to worry at all about that Trevenant. But Swampert kind of is a Pokemon that we do need to worry about. So I throw the Sky Attack here. They let that go through, which is huge. Heracross comes in, and because this is a shadow, we should be able to completely farm down here. Hydro Cannon comes through, trying to farm down. They reach a second. I'm just going to allow this to go through. Don't want to give the Trevenant any farm, as we've mentioned already. Unfezant comes in. Trevenant going to try its luck here against the Unfezant. And Shadow Ball not doing anything. Going to farm down completely. You love to see it. The big bird flapping its wings to victory. Able to take that game. Hopping into the next battle, we are leading Unfezant into a Kanto Muck. So this Pokemon, of course, is a bit of a core breaker right here. It does have access to Thunder Punch, so we probably have to shield this up. And it is going to be a little bit challenging to get rid of this Muck. Really hoping they do not shield this move right here, and they do not. So I swap out into the Heracross. They bring in the Charizard, which isn't the worst thing to see because we do at least have Rock Blast here, which is going to force the first shield. Let's see if we can reach the second. If this is only Dragon Claw, I believe we will survive, but they went straight for the Blast Burn. So here comes Unfezant. Still a very tricky spot right here. We are going to reach the Sky Attack. Let's see if they want to use their second shield. They do not. That takes out the Charizard. Absolutely huge damage right there. Muck comes back in. We are going to shield up the Thunder Punch, swap out into the Sirfetch'd, and it's a Kingdra in the back. So can we pull off this win right here? Going to throw this first Leaf Blade, and hopefully we will be able to outpace to the second. There goes the final shield. If this Leaf Blade is enough to put it in farm down range for the Unfezant, there is a potential win con right here. CMP tie, you love to see it. What we need to do is hopefully have the Unfezant farm this down, reach the Sky Attack, and now the Muck comes in. Unfezant has the move ready. Is it going to be enough? Bang, there it is. Muck taken out by the big bird. Able to win that game. The win streak continues right here. Let's hop into the next battle. We are leading Unfezant into a Shadow Machamp. Not the best lead to see, but definitely playable. They swap out into the Gyarados. We are going to throw a Sky Attack and then swap out into the Sirfetch'd. So Sirfetch'd coming in right here. Probably won't shield this either and look to commit to the complete farm down here, which is what we do. And now I could go for 2 Leaf Blades or 1 big Brave Bird. I decide just to go for the Brave Bird in case we actually cannot reach 2 Leaf Blades. And it's possible we probably would not right there. Machamp does farm us down. We'll come back in with the Unfezant. And are we going to shield up the Cross Chop here? I decide to call the Cross Chop, but I completely forget how glassy we are. but the opponent swaps out into Swampert. And this right here, I believe, is the win con, because if they farmed us down with the Machamp, we probably lose this game, but we take those. We have 2 shields left for the Heracross. Hydro Cannon takes us out. Heracross comes in. We are going to have to shield everything right here and just hope Heracross can win this game. So here comes the next move from the Swampert, going to double shield right here. I'm going to overfarm in case they do try swapping out, which they do into Machamp. Going to throw the Rock Blast right here. This will not KO. They'll likely reach a move, but we should be able to survive. They did not reach the move. Swampert comes back in, able to get to the Megahorn. Here comes a Mega Bang. There it is. Swampert taken out. Another big win. 4-0 heading into the 5th and final match of this set. Can we one up the previous one with the perfect 5-0? This is a horrible lead to see. Nidoqueen can run over all 3 of these Pokemon. And hopefully this is not a Stone Edge we have to call the Poison Fang. And thankfully it is going to reach this Sky Attack here. I need them to allow this to go through, which they do, but they're going to outpace us to another move. Can't really afford to shield here, so this is going to leave us in a very tricky spot. We will have to commit to the complete farm down here with the Heracross. And are we going to shield up this move? I decide to no shield. It's another Poison Fang. We are able to farm down, which is pretty huge. And they come in with an Escavalier, so this game looks like it's probably over. Going for the Megahorn right here, does get the shield, swap out into Sirfetch'd. I think the only potential win con here is if they are not running Acid Spray. So I go for the Leaf Blade here. You can make the argument that maybe I should have built up to the Brave Bird close combat range, but I decided not to. And there is the spray. So this game now is over. I mean, it's obviously dependent on what else is left in the back, but it happens to be a Gyarados. So I think if not for the Acid Spray, we might have had a small glimmer of hope to win this match. Probably not. Maybe that's just being a little bit hopeful. But as you could see, Rock Blast really hurts. Potential to maybe farm down with counter and take that game. But either way, GG to the opponent. We end up going 4-1. Back-to-back 4-1 sets with this team, and while it isn't exactly a team I would recommend running, it was a lot of fun, and Unfezant hits like an absolute truck. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and a comment down below, and if you'd like to see more content like this, consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.